All right, let's just jump right in. We are about to take a tour of Jaglavak 1963, and let me tell you, this is a universe that's so dense, so layered, it can feel like you're diving into the deep end of the pool. So think of this as your starter kit, your ground floor entry into a story that is absolutely massive and brilliantly meta. And we're going to start with this quote, because honestly, it's the perfect mission statement. This comes from a creator inside the story, and it tells you everything you need to know about the tone. This is a world that knows it's a world. It's provocative, it's messy, and it is 100% self-aware. So, where do we start? Not with some big sci-fi explosion or space battle. Nope, we're in an apartment. We're dropped right into the head of a woman named Connie Walker. She's an actor, and she's just stolen a t-shirt from the creator whose apartment she's in. And you can feel the tension right away. It's this complicated, messy relationship that feels almost normal, which of course is what makes it all so strange. And boom, this quote just lays it all out there. She calls this guy that asshole, but at the same time she's pulled into his orbit. It's this incredibly raw, honest, and frankly relatable internal monologue. It grounds us in this very human emotional space before things get really, really weird. Okay, so we're on the ground floor, but what is the ground floor exactly? Let's peel back the first of many, many layers here, because Canny isn't just some girl crashing at a guy's apartment. Oh no, she's something else entirely. And here it is, our first big piece of in-world jargon, furniture. When Connie calls herself this, she's not being cute or metaphorical. It is her literal job title. Within this massive studio system, actors are seen as accessories. They're part of the scenery, just like a lamp or a chair. This one word tells you everything about the bizarre power dynamics of this reality. So, if that apartment is just a set, who's the studio? Well, that would be the imagined nation. We're zooming out now from this personal drama to see the giant production company that is pulling all the strings. So who's building all this stuff? The prop masters. And don't just think of a normal art department. No, no, no. These guys are the literal architects of reality itself. We're talking about godlike figures from the art department who build everything from a coffee cup to an entire space station. But here's where it gets amazing. You'd think these godlike creators would be all serious and stoic, right? Wrong. According to the lore, they are a complete and utter chaotic force of nature. Just look at these rules. They're governed by this set of bizarre, hilarious guidelines. And this contrast between their insane power and their anarchic personalities is right at the heart of this world's dark comedic tone. Okay, so how does all this reality-bending stuff actually work? What's the engine under the hood? How do people communicate telepathically and live these overlapping lives? Well, it all comes down to one very specific, very strange substance. It's called sisal psychodelicide. Yeah, it's a mouthful. Basically, think of it as a drug that lets you see the source code of reality. It starts out as this thing gamers use to get an edge, to literally see the game's code. But in its pure form, it completely rewrites how you perceive the world. It's the magic system of this universe. So what happens if you're exposed to this stuff for a long time? Well, it's a journey. First, it hits you like a ton of bricks, just pure sensory overload. But then, you start to change. You develop this cybernetic symbiote. Your mind literally turns into a software engine, and you start communicating through a quantum neural link. You don't just see the code anymore. You become it. You evolve. And all of this leads to this fascinating split personality situation, perfectly shown by the main creator character. He starts out as Periwinkle Bubbles, an avatar, an NPC, a character he created out of trauma. But through this evolution, he becomes Tolo Jaglavak, a new cybernetic being. It's this constant dance between the character he's playing and the person he's literally becoming. All right, so we've got the people, the chaotic creators, and the reality-bending magic system. But just how big is the stage they're all playing on? Let me tell you, this is not your average Hollywood backlot. You want to know how they measure things in this universe? Get this. A single pleasure barge, a giant party ship, carries 5,000 shit tons of standard glitter. Yes, you heard that right. It's absurd, it's over the top, and it perfectly captures the style of this world. And if you need something a little more grounded, just one of the research stations in this universe is 48.7 square miles. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the size of San Francisco. For one station. And we're not just talking about one or two spots. This whole story sprawls across an entire solar system of these insane locations. You've got massive freighters that are basically mobile cities for 1 million people, these giant habitat preserves. And oh yeah, Earth itself is now a theme park and resort called New Africa. The stage is literally the size of worlds. So, what happens when you throw all of this into a blender? The personal drama, the chaotic gods, the reality drug, the planet-sized sets. Will you get a world where the story starts writing itself, where the characters start talking back? You can see it in how they track history. Tolo Jaglavak's life isn't just a life, it's broken down into falls, like levels in a video game or chapters in a story. And notice that his first fall is linked to a t-shirt club, a system literally designed to help him remember who he is. Memory isn't just something you have, it's something you manage. And this is where we circle all the way back to that stolen t-shirt from the very beginning. For Kawani, that shirt is everything. It's a symbol of a rare, intensely private moment. It's a secret. It's a confession of love tied to this one physical object. But then, bam, somewhere else in the system, a completely different character, Marcia, shows up wearing the exact same shirt. That intensely personal moment Connie thought was hers, turns out it was just a scene, a story beat, a piece of content that gets repeated, recast, and broadcast across the entire network. Your most private memories are just waiting to be remixed. And they even turn this idea into a literal business model. It's called a Ricardian contract. In this universe, if you can recite a story aloud, from memory, you gain proof of ownership and a literal share of the profits. Storytelling isn't just art, it's a financial transaction. It's currency. Which, of course, brings us to the big, mind-bending question at the heart of it all. In a world where your life is a performance, where your memories are a script, and where reciting that script can give someone else ownership of your story, who is actually in control? Who really holds the final cut?